I'll sing Ode Vaishnava Thakur. Ode Vaishnava Thakur, Doyara Sagada, Eda Sekoda Bodhi. Ode Vaishnava Thakur, Doyara Sagada, Eda Sekoda Bodhi.
Sujana Udaradhita Pada Yugam Yugadar Madhurandar Patra Valam Sujana Udaradhita Pada Yugam Yugadar
Even if you all move forward, do you think it's good? Just think maybe more will come.
Which one did you say? Today's Friday, you know, Pramadana Deva Sutra.
It might be a bit much because we have guests.
Yeah, it's quite long.
Maybe it's another Avatana Sada.
That's page 130.
Avatara Sara Guravatara
Avatara Sara
Today's Saturday, isn't it, as well?
It's
So it
Friday,
makes-
isn't it?
Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
No, I mean, I was only saying because that's what we normally do. But,
That's the last, huh? Friday is the last?
Is it 61?
Friday's the
61,
last,
right?
yeah.
What is it?
61.
61?
Last 10, is it?
I just think 10 might be a
Yeah,
bit
it's
much.
too much.
Maybe 5 verses. Could even be the first 5 verses, right?
61?
Let's do 1 to 5. It's not
Okay.
really okay.
yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's page,
242.
no, it's page
16.
84.
I don't know.
That,
So
yeah,
starting
you are
number
right.
1, right?
You're both right.
Page 160 first.
You are right because it's
84,
Friday, so
right?
that's what we would have done.
Yeah.
We're thinking because
yeah.
it's Gaura Purnima.
Yeah, they see.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's describing the
Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah.
It's page 84.
Print.
Is this, do you know
Yeah.
that?
This is James.
This
This
is
is
James.
James.
Hello, James. Nice to meet you.
Vishakha Devi. I told you about
Yes.
a famous traveling monk around the world.
Yes.
And she inspires us all very much. From young age,
Oh, really?
she has been following this Krishna, beautiful Krishna conscious, Gaura conscious path. And now she's with us, I believe. So,
You doing it?
please.
There were some carpets there, some mats and the big question.
Devasida mukta yukta vakta vrinda vandita papa tapa tavadaha tadaruta vandita
for those who aren't familiar, this is a very beautiful Sanskrit composition by our grandfather Guru, Srila Sriyukta Maharaj. And it's actually quite an extraordinary work. It's summarizing the whole life of Lord Chaitanya in 70 verses, and it's fully Sanskrit. And so these first few we normally sing 10 verses every day, and then throughout the week we cover the 70 verses and the whole life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so these first few that we heard are describing his original descent into this world and his childhood pastimes. Beautiful. Will Ananda Srupani just come in the door?
Yeah.
She's in the house. Very talented singer. Maybe because we have more Bibles and everyone's squeezing in. Could we move? I know everyone's shy, but it's just practical to move forward. There's lots of space. And you didn't sing yet, Prabhu. Okay, after.
Yeah.
So many singers, so many songs to sing.
With so little time.
So, which song should we do today?
For Nityananda Prabhu, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's okay.
1, 2, 2. Page 1, 2, 2.
One, two, two. Vista para kamala koti chandra susitala.
Vista para kamala koti chandra susitala.
Jaya jagata durai.
Jaya jagata durai.
sing Emana Dormati?
We can share now. We can share with you.
Page 164. This is a favorite of our Gurudev, this song, and it's describing how the Guru and Lord Chaitanya, they come in this world with a good message of good hope, good tidings. There's room on the boat for everyone.
Prabhu he jemana durmate samsara vitare odija jachinu
Radharani, you want to sing something? No. Okay, then who's next? Pandita?
Did you sing Nitai Padakamani?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Did you sing already?
Yeah.
Page 200.
200?
Yeah.
Chetadaparnamardanam? Cetodarpanamardanam Baba Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandika Vitaranam Vidyavadam Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipradam Purnam Nitaswadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Maybe before you sing, you can give a short introduction.
Please.
No, you.
No.
No, you.
Can I read the translation?
No.
Oh no, Vishakha, please.
Okay, read the translation.
Okay. The holy name
So
of Krishna.
this explain where the verse. This is a composition of Lord Chaitanya. For those who don't know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he only left 8 verses of his own writing, and so these are very significant for us, and they're all centered around the chanting of the holy name, Kirtan. And then one of our modern gurus, Bhakti Vinod, he has composed Bengali songs which are elucidating further on these songs. And so now this is the first of these 8 verses and the first of the songs which accompany them. Please take it away.
Pita Varana Kali Pavana Gaura.
is that?
The holy name of Krishna cleanses the mirror of the heart and extinguishes the fire of misery in the forest of birth and death. As the evening lotus blooms in the moon's cooling rays, the heart begins to blossom in the nectar of the name. And at last the soul awakens to its real inner treasure, a life of love with Krishna. Again and again, tasting nectar, the soul dives and surfaces in the ever-increasing ocean of ecstatic joy. All phases of the self of which we may conceive are fully satisfied and purified, and at last conquered by the all-auspicious influence of the holy name of Krishna. Lord Gauranga, whose complexion is golden and who is the deliverer of the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, sings as follows, overwhelmed with spiritual ecstasy. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It thoroughly cleanses the mirror of the heart, and it is the delight of the soul. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It extinguishes the forest fire of material existence and removes all material tribulations. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It appears like the moon in the heart and distributes its cooling moonlight, making the white lotus of the soul's good fortune blossom and bloom. Krishna Kirtan is the Bhakti Vilas, the beautiful pastime of devotion. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It reveals one's pure identity in relationship with the Lord, even up to divine concerthood. This chanting is the real perfection of life. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan causes the ocean of ecstatic joy to overflow. It is an inundation of divine love. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan gives one a taste of fully satisfying nectar at every step. Ultimately, it bestows aesthetic love of Godhead. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It bathes the soul of Bhakti Vinod. This chanting is a storehouse of love of Godhead. Jai Shri Bhakti Jai.
You know, we have a lot of space here because everyone's squeezing in at the back. Maybe we'll put a pause on the kirtan there. You didn't get to hear from Sachi. But tomorrow's another festival. And we also have some special prayers we're going to sing as well. So maybe we'll have a pause. I know you wanted to sing too.
Jai Sriyukta Vishakha Didi ki jai.
I've got
Enough?
yeah. Well, it's my good fortune that I'm here today with you all on this most auspicious of most auspicious days. And I just arrived a few days ago, and I was welcomed very warmly by the devotees here. And I would like to welcome all the honorable guests who've come especially today for this festival. Happy New Year, as Pandita reminded us this morning. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava world, in the world of the followers of Lord Chaitanya, today actually marks our new year. It's our new year calendar year. Did Ratna not come? Or she's in the kitchen.
She's in India.
Tomorrow. She's in India.
Still in
She's
India.
probably at the airport now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow at lunchtime.
Great. So today is the day to reflect on, what would we do without Mahaprabhu being in this world? He came to give us the gift of our eternal life, right? And this morning we were discussing these two different aspects of divinity, two different expressions of the Supreme Divinity, that of Madhurya and Audarya. right? These are like two chambers in which the Lord's divine play takes place and expresses itself, and so Krishna, the nature of Krishna's play, activity, lila in this world is characterized by madhurya, in sweetness, honey-like sweetness. Lila Mrita Sar, we were discussing this beautiful verse. Krishna's activities represent the essence of the essence of the essence of all sweetness. Right? And then Lord Chaitanya's, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lila, divine play in this world, is characterized by the spirit of audarya, which means magnanimity, generosity, the mood of distribution. And so while Krishna's whole play, it's like kind of like a closed circle. We know there's all this wonderful sweetness and loving exchange and rasa going on, but it's a little inaccessible. There isn't. It's not easy to get a ticket there. As we were hearing this morning, Lakshmi Devi, who's the goddess of fortune, she couldn't get a ticket to enter Krishna Lila Jai. We hear that she performed austerities for hundreds of years and she could not have entrance there. So what to speak of, persons like ourselves. But on the other hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only is that same quality of rasa, ecstasy, joy, happiness, sweetness, fully present. The same quality is present, but it's also pervaded by this spirit of generosity, right? So we can get some touch of that. We have some hope of getting entrance into that type of sweetness. And what is that? What is the nature of that magnanimity? It is to such an extreme degree that, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they're not only disregarding qualifications, who's fit, who's unfit, but they're actually chasing after persons. Please take this, right? We hear Mahaprabhu, his policy is it's available to anyone, right? No, we're not looking at your record. It's available. If you come and you ask for it, we're giving it to you for free. That's Mahaprabhu's. No, that's it. Thank you, yeah.
What did he say?
No background check. There's no background check. If you simply come and say that you want it, then he will give it freely. No cost, no background check, nothing. But then his secret agent, or not so secret agent, is Nityananda Prabhu, right? Who's his number one associate, assistant in the distribution of divine love, right? And Nityananda's policy is he's begging you, he's running after the most fallen persons, the most degraded persons, begging them, please, you must take this, please. You will be my life and soul if you will take this, if you will take the name of my Lord. Right? So this is the nature of the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But at the same time, it's not so easy to recognize who Mahaprabhu is, right? He is described in the scriptures, but in a little bit of a hidden way, right? He's referred to in some places as the Chana avatar, means the hidden avatar, right? In one place, it is even mentioned that there's no avatar for Kali Yuga, right? Yuga avatar, who's spreading the Dharma of the age. And the Lord is even, one name of the Lord is even Tri Yuga, who only appears in 3 yugas, doesn't appear in the 4th yuga. So he's a little hidden. It takes some fine intelligence, some discerning approach to be able to recognize who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, right? And why is he hidden? One reason for that is that he's not appearing ostensibly as the Lord, right? He's coming with this special purpose to explore what it means to be a devotee of the Lord. He wants to experience the devotion that's in the hearts of his devotees, right? Principally Srimati Radharani, right? His divine feminine counterpart. So he's coming not as the Lord, right? Krishna, in many places, of course, Krishna, he's also hidden sometimes, especially in his Vrindavan Leela, young cowherd boy. But he's also revealing his divinity at different times, and in Bhagavad Gita, he's shamelessly declaring who he is, right? worship me. He's announcing, right? And Srila Sridhar Maharaj's word, shamelessly canvassing for himself, right? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namasku. Worship me, love me, serve me. Very shamelessly, he's telling people, right? He's revealing his Vishwaroop, his universal form, and so on, right? And Gurudev mentioned, like, where will you find this, right? In any other scripture where someone is just blatantly declaring that they're God and everyone should worship them, right? But Krishna is very clear about that. Other avatars, it's also very clear, right? Nrsimha Dev, appearing in this fierce form, bursting out the pillar, and so on. Like, normally it's quite clear. But in the case of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's exploring this other mood, right? What is the mood of a devotee? What does it mean to surrender to God? What is that love, that humility in the hearts of the devotees? He wants to experience that. So he's showing himself in a different way. He's exploring that himself, and he's also giving an example to others. What does it mean to be a devotee of God, right? What type of separation and longing will be in the heart of a genuine devotee, right? A genuine, or you could even say a healthy soul in this world, right? A wholesome soul in this world should be feeling separation from God, right? That's actually normal, right? But only if we're covered over by many hard, mundane layers, we're not feeling that, right? We're not feeling that. But if we're awake, if we're actually awake to our own condition, then we'll be suffering, actually. It would be too much to experience the pain of separation from our loving divine source, right? And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed, there's a beautiful line of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, how divine love can play a man like a doll. He says it like that in one place, how it can play a man like a doll. And particularly in his last 12 years in this world, right? He withdrew from his public duty of spreading the holy name, and he retreated into what was his private mission and private desire to explore that inner mood of devotion that Radharani has for Krishna, right? And so he came with this twofold purpose, right? And we were discussing a little of that this morning as well. This is also discussed at the very beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is our main scripture discussing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so there, this twofold purpose is explained. There was that public duty to spread the holy name, to propagate the Yuga Dharma, right? Every Yuga, every age has a particular associated Dharma, which is most suitable for the people of the time. And so in this age, it is Kirtan, right? Harinam Sankirtan, particularly the congregational, Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names of God. And so this was his public duty, to act as the Yuga avatar, the avatar for the age, and spread the Yuga Dharma, the Dharma for the age of Harinam Sankirtan, and thereby uplift all the souls of this world. That was the outer aspect of his purpose behind his descent in this world. And then he also had that inner desire, right? He wanted to explore. He's very curious, actually. Because as Didi was mentioning this morning, right, he's seeing his devotees, and particularly his beloved Radha, Srimati Radharani. He's seeing that, she's giving everything to serve him, right? And on our altars, generally Radharani, she's not garlanded, but she's in the posture of holding a garland, right? It's difficult to worship her, because she's giving everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, cent per cent. She doesn't have any existence other than the desire to serve Krishna, right? To please Krishna, to satisfy Krishna. So Krishna is seeing that, how she's wholesale existing for his satisfaction. And that's giving him so much joy, right? But he also sees that she's getting more joy than he himself. She's getting more joy in giving to him than he is getting in receiving, right? And so he's he's very curious about this, and he wants to taste that, right? We also hear descriptions of him observing his own beauty, right, and being shocked at that, and seeing how others enjoy his beauty, others enjoy his sweetness, but he cannot enjoy his own sweetness, right? This is a problem. It's not possible. And so then he has this inspiration, to appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there's this beautiful line, Radha Bhava Duti Suvolitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Like, who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna, enhanced, enriched by the heart and halo of Radharani, right? Enriched by her bhav, by her mood of devotion, her love, and duty, her golden effulgence, her golden luster, right? So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he appeared in this world, showing his Leela in his own way, right? We hear in his early years, he had he went through different phases, we can say, right? Different phases in his pastime in this world. And in his early years, he was living as a very great scholar, Sanskrit scholar, and he had many students who would travel from different parts of India to see him. He would also travel. He was highly regarded as a Sanskrit scholar, grammarian, teacher. And we even hear how he used to tease the Krishna Bhaktas, right? The devotees of Krishna. He used to tease him to the extent that some of them, when they saw him approaching, they would cross over to the other side of the road, because he was so brilliant, he could defeat anyone in argument. Right? And so he liked to tease them in this way. We hear sometimes he would present one line of argument and defeat the other person, and then he would present another line of argument and defeat his own argument. He was like that. And so his early years were like this. And then we hear there was this turning point when he went to Gaya, which was very traditional to go for funeral rites. His father had passed away fairly early, and so he went to Gaya to perform these funeral rites. And then there he encountered this Ishvara Puri, who was a great Krishna Bhakta. And meeting him, having his association, of course this is his play, right? Then he was converted, so to speak. And then he came back to his hometown, Navadvip in West Bengal, changed person, and showing this very deep mood of love and separation. And we hear that he called a meeting of all the Vaishnavas in the town in order for him to be able to vent his heart, right? And we hear there was this very profound gathering where he was literally crying, in this mood of deep separation, showing himself in a completely different mood than previously. Kaha mor prananad moralivadan. Where is the Lord of my life? That beautiful flute player, Krishna, crying. And all the Vaishnavas, they were celebrating. Like, oh, this Nimai, he was called Nimai that time, right? This Nimai Pandit, he has joined our ranks. Now we will be invincible. Right? Previously, he was showing himself as this proud scholar, right? But now he's showing this mood. Now we can overcome anything. They were overjoyed about that, and then he had his early phase in Navadvip. Eventually, Nityananda Prabhu came and joined him and brought a great deal of strength to his group, and then he began his Sankirtan movement in earnest, right? And so many beautiful pastimes. Then eventually he ended up taking sannyas, right? Taking up the renounced Dandavat. He ended up taking up the renounced order in order to give more dignity to his cause, right? Especially in India, people, they regard the cloth very highly. And so he realized he would have to give up his family life and take up the order of a monk, which was also very tragic for the residents of Navadvip, his hometown. They had to give up their intimate association with Lord Chaitanya, and he took on this very austere aspect of a celibate monk. There's space up here. You're welcome to come here. Welcome. Then he also traveled all throughout India after taking up the order of sannyas. And he was based in Puri, in Jagannath Puri. And as I said, right, he went through these different phases, after his household life in Navadvip. Then he had about 12 years of preaching widely throughout India, based in Puri, Jagannath Puri, Orissa, but then traveling out, coming back. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there was this phase of the last 12 years, right, where he took the opportunity to explore what was his innermost desire, right, that he wanted to taste the mood of Radharani, right. And then he showed a very deep mood of devotion, very mad actually. It was a state of divine madness, to the point where his devotees would have to watch over him day and night. They were concerned that he would harm himself, and sometimes he would disappear into the ocean, right? And they'd have to go chasing after him in the middle of the night, and so many things took place, And so, there are so many aspects to the divine Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. But this aspect, we could say, is paramount, that and we have one beautiful song we sang in the morning. What you sing, how does it go again? Radhara Mahima, Jadi Gaur na hoto, Jadi Gaur na hoto, Toba ki hoito, Kemene Doritam de. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ultimately came to broadcast the glories of his beloved devotee, right? Srimati Radharani. And in general, we can also say, showing what is the glory, what is the dignity, what is the joy of being a servant. That it is the most joyful, most dignified position to have, right? To embrace that nature of a giver, of a dedicating agent, right? Not a taker, not an exploiting agent, but that it is the highest position to have, right? To the point where the Supreme Godhead himself, he also wants to take that position. He also wants to embrace that position. The Supreme, we have one beautiful book from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, The Supreme Victory of Devotion. The Supreme Victory of Devotion. That title always captures my heart. And so in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's this beautiful, most beautiful example of that, representation of that, the glory of the position of a devotee, And these Shikshashtakam verses, Pandita saying one of them earlier, they are very important for us, The principal teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all encapsulated in these verses. And they're quite extraordinary, these verses. They're centered around the chanting of the holy name. And they show that through the chanting of the holy name, in the spirit of surrender, we can also add, then one will be taken from the, most beginner level up to the highest and most profound mood of devotion, right? Actually, another important point here is that these verses, we can say that they have come from the heart of Radharani. Because these verses, they came out from the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his final days, when he's venting this mood of separation in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And so, ultimately, and there's a whole systematic development, a gradation in these verses, as I said, beginning from the beginnermost level and going to this very deep mood of devotion. That is the property of Radharani, actually. And they are very extraordinary. So the first verse that we sang, the song that's accompanying that, this is describing in a general way it's kind of like a poster, like a banner advertising the glories of the holy name, right? Everything that can be attained through the glories of the holy name. That can be attained through the chanting of the holy name. And the different stages that one will go through in the sincere chanting of the holy name. Beginning with Cheto Darpana Marjam, the purification of the heart, right? And then in the following verses, there's this development, right, in one's mood of surrender. Then in the next verse, is Nam Nama Kari Buddha, coming to this realization that, oh yes, the holy name is everything. However, I'm unable to chant the name, right? Because the name is not just a material sound vibration, right? If only it was so easy, right? It is not a material sound vibration that we can express with our tongues. It is not something that we can conceive in our brains, our intellect, the plane of our intellect. But the true holy name, it has its origin from the spiritual plane, right? And that must also come down in the proper channel, as our Gurudev always used to say. It must come through the proper channel. That means through the saints, right? Through the Vaishnavas. And then we also must have the fertile soil in our hearts, right? Within which the seed of that holy name can sprout and flourish, right? So there's this realization described in the next verse. Yes, this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come with this most glorious, wonderful gift. Everything is here, but I'm not able to receive it, right? I'm not able to chant it, actually. And then the third verse is describing the remedy for this. And this is the verse that our Gurudev Srila Govinda Maharaj used to emphasize so much, which I think almost everyone knows. This Trinada Pisu Nichena, Tadoriba Sahishnuna, right? Describing these qualities of humility, tolerance, and respect. That one who's humbler than a blade of grass, tolerant as a tree, who can give honor to others without expecting it for themselves. Such a person, Kirtaniya Sadahari, right? They can chant the holy. Their heart may be such a temple within which that glorious name may reside, right? May reveal itself. And so this was a verse our Gurudev emphasized so much. Right? Then the fourth verse, Nadanam Najanam Nasundaram, is describing this deeper mood of surrender, where one is losing all interest in the attainments of this worldly plane, right? And this is, we were discussing this yesterday, I think. This is one of the things which is very beautiful about Vaishnavism, that there is not an emphasis on rejecting material attachments, right, in a pushing way, as our Gurudev said, but rather the emphasis is always on the positive, cultivating the positive side, cultivating our positive attachment. And then naturally, as a side effect, everything negative will leave automatically. Right. So this kind of process is seen, right, as the attachment, as the connection with the holy name is deepening, then automatically interest in the material plane, it's diminishing, right, it's leaving. And so this fourth verse is describing that, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing this mood, Nadanam Najana. I'm not interested in wealth, right? I'm not interested in any type of sense pleasure. I'm not interested in followers, name and fame, popularity. And I'm also not interested in liberation. I'm not interested in moksha. I'm not interested in mukti. Right? Because normally persons who realize the meaninglessness of material achievements, they go to the other extreme. Right? Oh, I just want to reject everything in this world. I want to be free of this world. Right? But that's also not the solution. That's just another side of the same coin. Right? The wholesome, happy mood of the soul is in a life of dedication, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj said so beautifully. And so anyhow, as an outcome of devotion, this mood is being expressed. I'm not interested in anything of this world, and I also don't want to be free from this world. That's not my goal either. Babama janmani janmani shure bhavatad bhakti or haituki tvai. My only desire is to have pure, causeless devotion for you, my Lord. Birth after birth. Let me take birth again and again. That's not a factor. But let me only remember you with love in my heart. Let me have some loving attachment to you in my heart. Right? And then the fifth verse is this is my personal favorite, the fifth verse. Ayi nanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavambudo kripaya tavapada pankaja kripa duli sajishim vichintaya. There's this feeling that, this realization of what I mentioned earlier, what am I doing here? How am I living, right? How am I living in separation from my Lord, right? There's this realization, right? That actually I belong to you, right? Actually, I am your own. But somehow I've ended up swallowed up in this fearsome ocean of material existence, So there's this awakenment, this of awareness of what is my condition, right? And how am I living like this? What happens? Just like we could imagine someone who's been living with some heavy addiction, right? That's been clouding their consciousness, and one day they wake up and look around them, see how they've destroyed their life. What am I doing with my life? What happened? That momentary clarity will come, right? And so this verse is expressing something like that. What have I done with my life? What am I doing here? Right? This isn't where I belong. What happened? My Lord, please pick me up. Give me some place, anywhere. Even as a particle of dust at your feet, I'll be satisfied with that, my Lord. Please give me any connection with you. This is being expressed. And another thing about this verse, Srila Sridhar Maharaj points out, the way in which Krishna is being addressed in this verse is very sweet. Is Nanda Tanuja, referring to him as the son of Nanda Maharaj, right? Nanda Maharaj is the father of Krishna. And that's just such a wonderful concept. God has a dad. He's the son, He's somebody's son, right? He's a charming cowherd boy, surrounded by friends and relatives and lovers. Right? This is this very sweet conception of not some harsh or fearsome God or some very distant, remote God, but he is very near. He's a charming boy of the Vrindavan forest, right? And he has a mother and a father, and he likes to steal butter, and he likes to dance. He's a very good dancer. It's a very sweet conception of divinity, right? So Nanda Tanuja, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj. This is how the Supreme Almighty is being addressed in this verse, right? Then what is next? Ayinanda Tanuja Kipatitam. What is it? Is it Yugayitam? There's another one in between? Huh? Yes, that's it. Yeah. Nayanam Galada Shudaraya. Now here, there's this expression. In this previous verse, he's saying, oh, give me any position, a particle of dust at your feet. But now in this next verse, some desire for closer intimacy is being expressed. And this aspiration for a deeper mood of devotion and connection. And it's interesting the way it's phrased. In this verse, Mahaprabhu is saying, when will my devotion be so intense that when I'm in separation from you, I will cry, tears of love, right? And I will chant your name in this mood of separation, right? It's not that, he's expressing this crying mood in an ostentatious way, but the point is that, my devotion, my attachment will be so strong that it will be intolerable to be separated from you. Right? So when will that day come? When I will have such firm devotion within my heart. Right? Then the next, yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam shanyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Again, deeper mood of devotion and separation. That in the absence of you, one moment feels like forever, right? Feels like an entire yuga, an entire age, right? Everything is void without you. Everything is empty without you, my Lord. And then the last verse is a very, very intense verse. It's describing a very high mood of surrender, right? This ashlishava pararatam pinashtumam. That's, you may treat me however you like, right? You may embrace me, you may reject me, you may even ignore me, which is even worse, But you will always be the only Lord of my life. This is unconditional love. Unconditional love. This is what is so beautiful about the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This very pure mood of love towards the Lord is being described. No strings attached. You can do as you like to me, but you will always be everything for me. So this is a summary of the Vishakha verses of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, as I said, will take us from the most beginner level to the highest, deepest mood of devotion. And these are all planes of consciousness, right? And Tari, really good to see you. There's room here if you like.
It's okay, I'm fine.
Okay. And through our sincere chanting, right, and so many obstacles. Spiritual life is like an obstacle course for our ego, actually, an obstacle course for our ego. But if we can get past, all the obstacles on this obstacle course, then we'll gradually be led to these deeper and deeper moods of devotion, right? And that may be in any position of life, right? Not that everyone has to give up everything and join the temple, right? But this is all depending on our inner mood of surrender, devotion, attachment, self-giving, right? These are all, Srila Sridhar Maharaj mentions how, just as there are so many great explorers, or so-called explorers, who have discovered places in this world, which were existing quite well before. But anyhow, so many great explorers who have, reached such distant lands and reached such great heights and mountains and so on. So there's also so many worlds of consciousness, right? And through our mood, but this is the thing, right? If we want to access a plane that is higher than ourselves, then it has to be with a mood of submission. Right? And there's people in this world who want to go explore into space, and we won't mention any names. But they can only go so far. There's only so much they can perceive with their mundane vision. But if you want to access a more subtle plane, right, a finer plane, a higher plane, then the approach has to be just the opposite. Right? It has to be with a mood of submission, right? It has to be with a mood of surrender. Otherwise, why would they reveal anything to us, right? Just like our Param Gurudev gives the example, if you want to go to another country, you have to get a visa. Now American citizens need a visa to come to England. I had to get a visa for the first time to come to England. So this analogy works better now, actually. I actually had to get a visa to come here. So if you want to enter some other country, you need a visa, right? Just a passport is not enough, but you need a visa. So what does that mean? What does that visa mean? It means that it's in the interest of that country to give you entrance, on the basis that you are coming to contribute something. You're coming to give something. You're coming to make a contribution to that place. Not that I'm coming to colonize here. I'm coming to take over. I'm coming to exploit the resources here. But they're assuming, oh, you will come and you will spend money here. You'll boost the economy. You'll post pictures on Instagram, how wonderful England is, and so on, right? So then we'll let you come. We'll give you entrance, right? So it is just common sense. Right? So we can only access something greater than ourselves if we're coming to give, right? If we're coming to contribute. And so all of these higher planes of consciousness, planes of higher experience, we can only access them with a mood of submission, with a mood of surrender. We can only experience things greater than ourselves if we come with the mood of a servant, right? We come with the mood of a giver. This is common sense. We accept the position of a student, right? Then we can connect with that higher plane, right? So there's so much that is waiting for us, actually. And our teachers, they've left a great inheritance for all of us. All of these wonderful things is actually our birthright. We're all members of that soil. Intrinsically, we belong to that higher soil. You know, we are like rays of light which are touching the ground of this world, and we've become a little confused and we're identifying with this world. But actually, our source is that higher plane of spirit and love and beauty and so on. And so today is a very glorious day when we are remembering all of these things. And as we said, this is also our new year. So just like there's a custom to make New Year's resolutions, right? We can also make New Year's resolutions at this time, to go deeper into our life of spirituality, devotion, service, and all of these things. So I don't know if you would like to say something.
I'm a very happy listener to your very good and wonderful explanations, going so deep into it. And what I remember actually, what you said was the highest, the very dignified position, the highest position of a human being is to become a servitor of the Lord. And that it's so high that even the Lord wants to experience that position. And I don't have I think it's a wonderful day, most merciful, magnanimous day from the most magnanimous Lord. So I wish for all of us here that we may understand this high proposition of being a dignified servitor of the Lord, and that we all become like that, and a sincere searcher first, because it's a journey, and in our search, in our journey, to become sincere servitors of the Lord. And there's always a lot of mercy in festival days, so it's thick with mercy. So please, I pray for all of you, and we all pray for each other, that we may all go together in this journey with the grace of the Lord, Nityananda, Mahaprabhu, the Lord Krishna, that we may never leave this path, and that we become stronger, and that we help each other to become stronger, and because we know this is the best life. It's very pure life, very wonderful life. It's get better and better. Maybe in the beginning, sometimes a little bit, we have to, go through some hurdles. Actually, always some hurdles, but we get stronger, and then we see that the hurdles are actually the mercy of the Lord. The hurdles is the opportunity to make us stronger and make us more convinced that I have to try harder and do a bit better next day. So I wish that all for you, and happy Gaura Purnima day. And we're so happy that we heard such beautiful explanation from Vishakha. And she is here for a little bit more until the 30th. So
Or 30th.
please have her association. You got a little taste now, and it's very inspiring. So please come as often as possible, and that we can all sing the glories of the Lord and be in association of Vishakha. Jai Sri Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Sri Gaura Purnima ki Jai. Vishakha Devi ki Jai.
Anyone else have a comment they'd like to share?
I have a question about, you know the verse, Kiba Vipra Kiba Dasi? Mahaprabhu, he wrote that, correct?
Yes, I think it is. I think Mahaprabhu's it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it is Mahaprabhu himself.
So
I think it's speaking to Sanatana Goswami. I think so.
So there's Shikshatikam and that one verse and that's it.
I mean, you see, Shikshashtakam's a little different because it's Sanskrit, you know, and there's some, for us it's kind of all the same, right? Bengali verses, Sanskrit verses. But, you know, Sanskrit verses, they have kind of more dignity, formality around them. So, you know, in Chaitanya, and also you could say that verse may be Mahaprabhu's, like, expression coming through the language of Kaviraj Goswami. Maybe something
That's
like
from
that.
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah.
In Bengal.
Yeah, it's in Bengali, yeah. But there are 2 or 3 other verses which are attributed to Mahaprabhu. I don't know if I don't think they're in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Maybe one of them is. There's one, it's in Prapana Jivanamrita, he's describing baby Krishna and stealing the butter early in the morning, and he's praying for the shelter. Very beautiful verse. I can't remember it now. Patu Mambala Krishna. He's praying for protection from... It's very charming because it doesn't make so much sense. He's describing this baby Krishna who wakes up early and goes on tiptoes and to steal the butter from his mother's storage, and he's blowing out the lamps very quietly, very stealthily, so no one sees him. And then he concludes, you know, Patu Mambala, may that boy Krishna be my only protector, he's saying, like that. And then there's also Na Prema Gandosti Drapi Meharo, you know that verse maybe, saying, I don't have a drop of divine love, no, I'm completely bereft of anything. And then I think there's one more which is attributed to him. I think it might be like 90% sure, like that they're his. So, yeah. Well, we have these verses that we... The thing is, I don't know. Can you can say the proper tune?
The boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Every year.
Okay, great. So these are from our scripture, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we traditionally sing them. They're verses describing the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're in chapter 13 of the first section of this scripture, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they're very beautiful, they're Bengali verses. And so we're you know, everything associated with the great souls, it is auspicious. So the very time associated with the appearance of a great soul, that is also auspicious. And by honoring that time, you know, we're inviting blessings upon ourselves. And so we're now approaching the time. In fact, we may be out of time. What was it? It was 6:50 something. Is Saraswati here? We're good timing, yeah? Okay. So we'll sing these songs and then we will move to Arati, worship.
Do we sing standing or sitting? Okay.
I think we can sing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay,
better.
yeah. A little more relaxed. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're very lucky. We have our Kirtanese, Navadip Kirtanese here.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Gopal?
Maybe we can wait.
2 minutes or 3, or we can sing the song.
He
the
really
open
wanted. He really wanted to do
Okay,
it.
I think it's better.
Prabhu really wanted to. We really wanted.
We
to
want
do
him
it.
to do it too, yeah.
So in 2 minutes, he will finish the opening.
Bless us.
So 2 minutes, open floor, is it? Say.
Oh, I think Ananda's Rupini had a question. Big question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you know, those 8 verses, Vishakha, would you say those prayers, like, they work in a linear kind of way? Like, first, you know, you achieve one, and, you know, all kind of holistically all together, or...
Yeah, well, yes, we mentioned that there's a gradation. There's some systematic development in the moods that are being expressed in these verses. Definitely, yes. The first verse, I would say, is kind of like a summary of what are the glories of the holy name. And then the following verses, and Gurudev actually describes this very, very, very nicely and reveals truth. You can have a look there, I'm pretty sure. He describes there how there's this development in the mood of the devotee, right? As they're chanting, deeper and deeper moods of surrender are manifesting in their heart. So, and then that's culminating in the acme of surrender, the last verse, right? Just very high mood of surrender. So yes, definitely. I'd say.
Oh, it's here in the songbook also.
Yes, it's in the songbook too, yeah.
But which page?
Purple one, 272.
272 in this book.
Does everyone have a paper or someone to share with? Or
Who hasn't got a sheet?
who you want to take that? Okay. Well, it's here in the book. I can follow here. Oh, you're showing in the camera.
Gaura Purnima, take 1.
I think some of our friends in the back don't have any sheet. Or she doesn't want one. Okay, maybe it's okay. 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 So my favorite, since we have time, my favorite line is so Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Dev appeared on the eclipse, right? The lunar eclipse. Yesterday also happened to be lunar eclipse. Pretty cool. And now traditionally in the Vedic culture, an eclipse is considered very inauspicious. But this is a nice example of how in Vaishnavism, none of these things really matter. Right? Because the Lord's consideration was just the opposite. He thought, because it's considered inauspicious, there's a custom for persons to gather in a holy place and to engage in chanting of the Lord's names, like for protection. And so the Lord's consideration, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's consideration was, they will all be chanting. He didn't care about what's auspicious, inauspicious, what's good or bad, but they'll all be chanting. Then that's very auspicious. And so he chose to appear at that time of an eclipse for that reason. But then there's this one line which is very charming, saying that, here it is, it's verse 90, it's just here, the third one down, 91. When the spotless moon of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became visible, what would be the need for a moon black mark? So he's describing how the moon, like in a mood of shyness, he hid, because the beautiful moonlight, Lord Chaitanya, he was appearing in that moment. Very beautiful. Now we have Gopal, our Navadip singer.
Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Avirbhav Titi Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gauranga
Gaura Hare
others know it, but we sing it just at the time of the arati. It's Gaura Chandra Yudai Holo, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo. And it means now Gaura Chandra, Lord Chaitanya, is going to appear, like that. So it's very beautiful. We would sing it for a few minutes before the arati.
Sing it, sing it.
So it's Gaura Chandra Yudai Holo, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo.
Gaura Chandra Yudai Holo, Gaura Chandra Yudai Holo, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo. Gaura Chandra Yudai Holo, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo.
Shivajayo Gora Chande Anubiko Sho Sabrika Sri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Yogi Jai. Acharya Bhaktavinda ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Paramahansa Parivadacharya Varya Sutra Sakti Srimati Bhakti Rata Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Shripa Paramahansa Bhagavanti Srila Bhakti Sridhar Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Shripa Srila Gopishwar Bhaj Maharaj ki Jai. Om Shripa Sati Ananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Om Shripa Srila Jagannath Bhaj Maharaj ki Jai. Om Guru Varga ki Jai. Om Acharya Sri Hariyas Thakur ki Jai. Om Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Shri Baladevi Devsan ki Jai. Raghunath Chakravarti Prabhu ki Jai. Ram Chananda Srinivas Acharya Prabhu ki Jai. Govinda Vanda Thakur ki Jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Aisha Prasad Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Prasad Divan Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samakunda Radakunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Varahadev ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhagavad Gita Vinasaya Sri Simhadev ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhagavad Gita Maharaj ki Jai. Dashi Maharani ki Jai. Gajmana ji ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Gita Ne Chatam ki Jai. Vaishnava Rahestava ki Jai. Paramata Raya Sri Chaitanya Mat ki Jai. Riya Sakamat ki Jai. Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai. Chaitanya Saraswat Mandandam Sat ki Jai. Vishwaya Pitaliya Sakamat ki Jai. Chaitanya Majapur ki Jai. Navadvip ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sham Dham ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath ki Jai. Govinda Kunda ki Jai. Vishakha Gauranga Yut ki Jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Mandala ki Jai. Samaveta Vastavrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Abhirvav Titi Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Dev ki Jai.
We're going to have Tulasi Aarti now, so please stay. Yes. No, we have.
Come back.
I'm sorry. No puede.
Just making sure you're awake. Making sure you're awake.